Millions of Americans desperately waiting for Congress to get its act together as negotiations on a colossal stimulus bill seem to have entered a stalemate. Lawmakers are already finger-pointing, no surprise. Republicans insisting Democratic leadership torpedoed a bipartisan agreement by adding unnecessary provisions, while Democrats say the plan doesn't provide money to the people who really need it. After a second failed attempt at getting something passed in the Senate this afternoon, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says House Democrats will now introduce their own bill. Joining our conversation from Capitol Hill, MSNBC correspondent Garrett Haake. Garrett, how are you doing, my friend? Take me through what's going on and tell me what it's like up there.
Well, on that last question, it's a ghost town. It is a bizarre atmosphere up here. There are fewer reporters. There are fewer lawmakers. There are a lot fewer staff. I mean, even with only one house in operation right now, that's the Senate, you would expect to see a lot more people up here than you on a weekday, on a day when a major piece of legislation is being worked on. That's just not the case up here. There is an absolute feel to what's going on here that's unlike anything I've experienced covering Capitol Hill. Now, as for where we are in all of this, negotiations continue. Secretary Mnuchin has been going back and forth between Leader Schumer and McConnell's offices all day long. They've been continuing to try to hammer out the bigger points in all of this, which I think come back to this $500 billion fund to bail out or to help provide loans to larger businesses that doesn't have enough transparency or enough oversight for Democrats, and getting more money to state and local governments and to hospitals. Those are the real issues here. Then there's a whole bunch of really chippy, kind of nasty tone of debate around other issues that both parties have tried to insert into this. Republicans accusing Democrats of holding up the process over campaign grab bag items that don't necessarily fall into a real emergency bill. But it's that core $500 billion and those money for state and local governments and for that are the main issues here. The small business provisions, the monies for individuals. People aren't arguing over that. This is what the fight is really about at this hour.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.